Good day everyone, welcome to Keystone English. My name is Key and I will be your host and instructor for this series. Today we're going to talk about a couple of Western holidays. You may have heard about these from Hollywood, but they don't give much background information. Let's fix that. I'm going to go a bit into their history and traditions. Knowing about Western holidays is a great way to connect with any foreigners that you meet. Since it's October while I'm posting this, let's start with one of my favorites, the holiday of creepy ghouls and ghosts, Halloween. A contraction of the word All Hallows Eve, Halloween is a night that carries a lot of pagan and Christian tradition. The word pagan basically means any Western religion that came before Christianity. This holiday includes a lot of dressing up, both for children going trick-or-treating and adults who just enjoy being someone else for a night. The phrase trick or treat is something children say when visiting a stranger's house asking for candy. It basically means, give me something delicious or I will cause trouble for you. Of course, it's mostly an idle threat nowadays, but it used to be quite serious. In the past, strangers who gave insufficient treats might face a lot of harassment from their neighbors. It's actually quite obvious which houses are welcoming because they have decorations like jack-o'-lanterns in their front yards. Children know to avoid houses with their lights off. Nowadays, it's actually quite rare to see children going trick-or-treating alone in a neighborhood, at least compared to 20 or 30 years ago. Parents now prefer to take their children to brightly lit malls where stores are just a few meters apart. It's a fun sight, but needless to say, Halloween has changed a lot over the years. Meanwhile, adults view Halloween as another chance to party while dressed up in silly, sexy, or creative costumes, possibly a combination of all three. What you may not know is that it's actually quite rare to see monster costumes at parties. People still want to look attractive, so sexy costumes are a lot more popular. Moving on to Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving has its roots as a Protestant religious harvest festival, despite the harvest being a lot earlier in the year. In the US, Thanksgiving comes on the fourth Thursday of November, but in the Canadian North, it comes on the second Monday of October, because the harvest season ends a lot earlier there. Thanksgiving traditions vary, but they generally include a large feast with gathered family where everyone says what they're thankful for. Oven roast turkey or ham is usually the main course, while mashed potatoes, cranberries, pie, and yams serve as traditional side dishes. Needless to say, it's quite common for people to overeat on this delicious holiday, sometimes even going into food comas, where all they can do is lie around and wait for their food to digest. Nowadays, with families spread so far across the world, Thanksgiving is an important excuse for people to gather together again. Schools and other businesses usually shut down during this time. Finally, in some states of America, schools will reenact skits about pilgrims and Indians. But this is really just for fun and doesn't reflect real American history. While Western holidays are still important to the culture, religion and belief don't matter as much to Americans and Canadians as they used to. In the modern day, with transportation and communication being cheaper and more efficient than ever, it's just not as important for families to gather during the holidays. But that doesn't mean that holidays and traditions are disappearing, just that they are changing and adapting as society grows. Just as the Mid-Autumn Festival has had to adapt its use of paper lanterns in the cities, Vietnam will see many changes in its traditions over the next few years. And that's not a bad thing. Change is inevitable. While our cultures help us define who we are, at the same time, people who live in the past have the most trouble facing the future. So think about your family and cultural traditions. Which of them help in making you evolve, and which make you stuck in outdated thinking? Let us know in the comments. That's it for today. This is Key signing off from Keystone English. Be sure to like and subscribe. It would really help me out a lot. Also, remember our motto of the day. The best traditions help define us, but they don't hold us back.